Gentlemen, bleeding a hydraulic clutch can be a pain in the balls sometimes. I'm going to show you a quick and dirty, easy way you can do it in about 5 to 10 minutes by yourself. You don't need a tool like this. All you need is a piece of clear hose with a little rubber tapered tip on it. You got to get this down in the brake master cylinder fluid reservoir or clutch. All you need is some gentle sucking action with your lips. And you got to have enough motor skills to release your lips from the hose. When you start seeing fluid come up from the tip, you got to have enough on the ball to let off with your lips and let it evacuate. Let the fluid go down and let the air just go out the end of the hose. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. It works every time. I've done it on the side of the road. You can bleed a clutch, master, and slave cylinder in 5 to 10 minutes. Guarantee it works. I'll show you. It works great. Keep on sucking. So this M37's been running real strong for a couple weeks. We took it to Colorado, no problems. A couple days ago, I went to a car show. I got in this and went to move it, and the clutch pedal went clear to the floor. And then I found a puddle underneath it. So I was able to repair the slave cylinder, but I'll show you what I did to repair the slave cylinder so this won't happen again. I had to go from a push type OEM slave cylinder on the clutch to a pull type. The only type I found was the Jegs. Jegs seems to have the best one around, so I ordered 2 of them. What happened on this little guy here is this rod unthreaded from this aluminum piston. They're not Loctited in at all, so I took this piston off the rod. You'll need to double nut it, put the piston in a vise, wind it out, clean it up with your brake cleaner, brake parts cleaner, get the old brake fluid off, then use some high strength red Loctite, and then wind everything back together in the vise. And then I also heat cured. The red Loctite has to be heat cured or friction cured. I'm not able to get enough torque on this to friction cure it, so I'm a little Coleman heater. Just heat this rod up, and that'll cure the Loctite in this piston cup, and it should never come apart. I'm going to put this together and show you guys how to bleed this with one person. Pretty slick setup. I would even take these bleeder screws out right now if I had plugs to put in them, but I'll show you how to bleed these simple, one person in about 5 to 10 minutes. Here we go. So both of these are assembled, Loctited. This one's going to go back in the truck. This is the one that failed. This one's going to go in a box for a spare. I'll carry that on the truck. Okay, so I've got one installed under the truck. One little tip for one person bleeding. Your slave, your bleed screw, you don't have to have it on top. You do have to have your JIC-AN fitting, quick connect, whatever you're running, inverted flare fitting. This has to be straight up because you're going to draw all the air out through that fitting. Right? Got it? Okay. Now up to the master cylinder. Take the cap off, pull the little cup out, let it drip dry, and then you notice we didn't lose all of our brake fluid out of the master. That's a good thing. So don't touch the pedal right now, guys, until you get this master topped off. In fact, you're not going to touch this at all until we're done bleeding. Let this drip out here. Oh, this is a Mighty Vac one person brake bleeder. We're not going to be sucking fluid. We're only going to be sucking air. So this is all we're going to use out of the kit. Suck the air out of the slave cylinder. Here we go. So inside this master cylinder here, there's a little tiny orifice right down in the center of that. What we're going to do is put this little pointy rubber thing down in there and suck the air out. We're not going to suck any fluid out. You'll know when you get it in the orifice because it'll go deep. Now watch the bubbles coming out of this thing. I'm running this with my mouth, so. Then we'll let the fluid go back down in. You draw a little fluid out with it. Just keep doing that. In about 5 minutes, you'll have this thing bled out. So obviously you have to keep topping this off, and you don't want to let air go back in. So when you get the bubbles up, and you don't want to suck this fluid down, brake fluid tastes kind of nasty. So we're going to top it off again and go from there. So now all the bubbles are gone. A couple little ones left. There we go. Yeah. Get her back down in the orifice. That's it. Solid brake fluid now. No bubbles. Still some stragglers. This takes about 10 minutes to do thoroughly. Now I think we're solid now. Try it back in this orifice. Come on. God, this is boring. I know you guys are loving this. Okay, that's it. No more air in the system. I had to add a little bit to this master cylinder cup. I think the slave cylinder probably takes 2 ounces or so. Pedal here now. See what we got. Good pedal. I'm gonna try starting it, make sure our clutch works okay. Yeah. And yeah, she goes into gear, reverse. Great pedal. That's how you bleed your clutch without having 2 people. And I know bleeding a clutch sometime is a huge hassle. So the fluid level remained up. Pumping that clutch worked good. We'll put the little diaphragm back in. Kind of touchy putting these back in. You got to let them slowly fill up or you'll overflow your cup. So almost there. We'll let that absorb up here a little bit. All that's left now to do is tighten the cap down on the cup. Keep an eye on the level of this. Make sure no leaks, weeps, or mushy clutch happens. Gentlemen, that's how you bleed a hydraulic clutch. Quick and easy, down and dirty. Hope you try it. Hope you like it. It works every time. Later on, guys. Oh, God.